Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 5, Book 58, number 172. Narrated by Aisha. Ashura, i.e. the 10th of Muharram, was a day on which the tribe of Quraysh used to fast in the pre-Islamic period of ignorance. The Prophet also used to fast on this day. So when he migrated to Medina, he fasted on it and ordered the Muslims to fast on it. When the fasting of Ramadan was enjoined, it became optional for the people to fast or not to fast on the day of Ashura. Volume 5, Book 58, number 173. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. The people used to consider the performance of Umrah in the months of Hajj an evil deed on the earth. And they used to call the month of Muharram as Safar and used to say, when the wounds over the backs of the camels have healed and the footmarks of the camels have vanished after coming from Hajj, then Umrah becomes legal for the one who wants to perform Umrah. Allah's apostle and his companions reached Mecca assuming ihram for Hajj on the 4th of Dhul Hijjah. The Prophet ordered his companions to perform Umrah with that ihram instead of Hajj. They asked, "O Allah's apostle, what kind of finishing of ihram?" The Prophet said, "Finish the ihram completely." Volume 5, Book 58, number 174. Narrated by Sa'id bin al-Musayyib's grandfather. In the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, a flood of rain came and filled the valley in between the two mountains, around the Kaaba. Volume 5, Book 58, number 175. Narrated by K. bin Abi Hazim. Abu Bakr went to a lady from the Amaz tribe called Zainab bint al-Muhajir and found that she refused to speak. He asked, "Why does she not speak?" The people said, "She has intended to perform Hajj without speaking." He said to her, "Speak, for it is illegal not to speak, as it is an action of the pre-Islamic period of ignorance." So she spoke and said, "Who are you?" He said, "A man from the emigrants." She asked, "Which emigrants?" He replied, "From Quraysh." She asked, "From what branch of Quraysh are you?" He said, "You ask too many questions. I am Abu Bakr." She said, "How long shall we enjoy this good order, i.e. Islamic religion, which Allah has brought after the period of ignorance?" He said, "You will enjoy it as long as your imams keep on abiding by its rules and regulations." She asked, "What are the imams?" He said, "Were there not heads and chiefs of your nation who used to order the people and they used to obey them?" She said, "Yes." He said, "So they, i.e. the imams, are those whom I meant." Volume 5, Book 58, number 176. Narrated by Aisha. A black lady slave of some of the Arabs embraced Islam and she had a hut in the mosque. She used to visit us and talk to us, and when she finished her talk, she used to say, "The day of the scarf was one of our Lord's wonders, verily. He has delivered me from the land of Kufa." When she said the above verse many times, i.e. Aisha, asked her, "What was the day of the scarf?" She replied, "Once the daughter of some of my masters went out and she was wearing a leather scarf round her neck, and the leather scarf fell from her and a kite descended and picked it up, mistaking it for a piece of meat. They, i.e. my masters, accused me of stealing it and they tortured me to such an extent that they even looked for it in my private parts. So, while they all were around me, and I was in my great distress, suddenly the kite came over our heads and threw the scarf. And they took it. I said to them, 'This is what you accused me of stealing, though I was innocent.'" Volume 5, Book 58, number 177. Narrated by Umar. The Prophet said, "If anybody has to take an oath, he should swear only by Allah." The people of Quraysh used to swear by their fathers, But the Prophet said, "Do not swear by your fathers." Volume 5, Book 58, number 178. Narrated by Abdur Rahman bin Al-Qasim. Al-Qasim used to walk in front of the funeral procession. He used not to get up for the funeral procession, in case it passed by him. And he narrated from Aisha that she said, "The people of the pre-Islamic period of ignorance used to stand up for the funeral procession. When they saw it they used to say twice, 'You were noble in your family. What are you now?'" Volume 5, Book 58, number 179. Narrated by Umar. The pagans used not to leave Jam, i.e. Muzdalifah, till the sun had risen on Thabir mountain. The Prophet contradicted them by leaving Muzdalifah before the sun rose. Volume 5, Book 58, number 180. Narrated by Hussein. That Ikrimah said, "Kasan Dihaka means glass full of something, followed successively with other full glasses." Ibn Abbas said, "In the pre-Islamic period of ignorance I heard my father saying, 'Provide us with Kasan Dihaka.'" Volume 5, Book 58, number 181. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, "The most true word said by a poet was the words of Labud. He said, 'Verily, everything except Allah is perishable,' and Amir bin as-Salt was about to be a Muslim, but he did not embrace Islam." Volume 5, Book 58, number 182. Narrated by Aisha. Abu Bakr had a slave who used to give him some of his earnings. Abu Bakr used to eat from it. One day he brought something and Abu Bakr ate from it. The slave said to him, "Do you know what this is?" Abu Bakr then inquired, "What is it?" The slave said, "Once, in the pre-Islamic period of ignorance I foretold somebody's future, though I did not know this knowledge of foretelling, but I cheated him. And when he met me, he gave me something for that service, and that is what you have eaten from." Then Abu Bakr put his hand in his mouth and vomited whatever was present in his stomach. Volume 5, Book 58, number 183. Narrated by Ibn Umar. In the pre-Islamic period of ignorance the people used to bargain with the meat of camels on the principle of Habal al-Habala, which meant the sale of a she-camel that would be born by a she-camel that had not yet been born. The Prophet forbade them such a transaction. Volume 5, Book 58, number 184. Narrated by Ghailan bin Jarrah. We used to visit Anas bin Malik and he used to talk to us about the Ansar, and used to say to me, "Your people did so and so on such and such a day, and your people did so and so on such and such a day."